Chapter 81. Not being affectionate to anyone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Han Wenji was not amused to hear the answer of his son. Xingli, then why did you used to say to me that you loved the Prime Minister's daughter? You are confused in yourself, Han Wenji proclaimed. Xingli had a serious expression on his face. Father, I will be truthful to you. I did not want to marry in the first place. I feel if I lie to the father, then he might stop my marriage. I tried the same with Ying Lily, but it did not bother her, which was satisfying for me. Shui used to care for me despite my nature. That's what I always liked about her. I thought about marrying her for that same reason until I found out that she is power-hungry like her father. To tell you the truth, I do not know what love is. I just know it makes people weak and sad, Xingli told his father with a chuckle. When I killed people during the campaign, I realized how much it weakened them rather than giving them the strength. If I have to survive in this world, I must live like that. Not loving anyone, not being affectionate to anyone. Indeed, there will be sadness for some time, but at least it will not make me feel like a loser. Han Wenji learned that his son had turned into a man which the former queen would never want him to be. Was it because Xingli lost his mother at the time when he needed her the most, or was it because he, as a father, could not look after Xingli? The emperor was wondering while peering at the crown prince. The emperor was with all of his sons during their childhood days, but with Xingli, it was the opposite. Han Wenji left the day his queen gave birth to Xingli and could not return for 4 years. Han Wenji could see the loneliness in Xingli's face, which broke his heart into a million pieces. Xingli never told his father those feelings he used to feel. Instead, he buried them inside his heart until today he had slightly opened up to him. Do you remember what your mother used to say? Han Wenji asked Xingli softly. I forgot, Xingli told a white lie to his father. Father, I shall leave. I have an investigation to do. Do not worry too much about me. Xingli stood up, bowed his head and left. Han Wenji took a deep sigh as he saw Xingli walking away. I hope the crown princess will give him that love and care, Han Wenji muttered. Xingli reached the prison after a while. The soldiers standing at the entrance bowed their heads seeing the crown prince. Xingli had that murderous gaze in his eyes which he used to have whenever he entered the battleground. Commander Tao, who was instructing the soldiers about a matter, saw the crown prince coming. Tao Zedong dismissed the soldiers and went towards the crown prince. Joining both hands, Commander Tao greeted the crown prince. Your Highness, it is good to see you healthy again, Tao said delightedly. Where is Xiao Zhan? What about the king of Juyan and the others? Xingli questioned. Your Highness, General Xiao is waiting for you in the prison where the king of Juyan is imprisoned, Tao Zedong replied as he followed the fast steps of the crown prince. He realized that the crown prince was not in a good mood. They soon reached the prison. Xiao Zhan bowed his head seeing the crown prince enter inside the gate. Song Li Xiu, the king of Juyan, was hanging on a wooden plank. Both his hands were tied with shackles and hung up. He was tortured badly and could hardly open his eyes. Did he tell who the mastermind is behind all this? Xingli questioned Xiao Zhan. No, Your Highness, Xiao Zhan replied. Xingli picked the hot iron rod from the furnace and pierced that through the chest of Song Li Xiu, who cried in pain. You should have demanded death that day. At least you would not have to go through this pain, Xingli told Song Li Xiu as he gripped his hair with his other hand and kept piercing the hot iron through the skin of Song Li Xiu. Please forgive me, Song Li Xiu spoke in a meek voice. Xingli threw the rod to the other side. Xingli again grabbed a fistful of Song Li Xiu's hair and pulled him closer. You shall know that I do not forgive people easily. I forgive them when they die, Xingli whispered. You might have been told by the mastermind that you will be sent back safely to Juyan, but let me clear your illusion. You will die in this prison only. Your wife and your children will be turned into slaves, so, better tell me the name. Do not even dare take the name of Lily because I cannot stand those who lie. Earlier I had forgiven you twice. Once when you killed your elder brother and the second time when you lied to Lily that I killed the former king of Juyin. Believe me, you will die a slow and painful death if you will not tell me the name of the mastermind, Xing Li threatened Song Li Xiu. P.Prime, Song Li Xiu was meekly saying the name, showing his blood-filled teeth, when a poison needle hit him near his neck. Song Li Xiu died at that very moment. Xing Li immediately turned to look at a soldier, who had taken the poison at the same time and died within a second. Tao Zedong ran towards the soldier who threw the poison needle at Song Li Xiu and checked his nerve. He is dead. Tao Zedong informed the crown prince, who snickered. Leave it. Whoever did this is foolish, Xing Li muttered. Check on those two maids, Xing Li asserted. Xiao Zhan left for the other prisons. Prime Minister, your end is near, Xing Li muttered. Chapter 82. How strong our relationship is. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Zhan informed the crown prince that the two maids were poisoned as well, which did not surprise him. If Xing Li had told the king of Juyin to tell the truth in front of his majesty, he would have been considered a liar because he earlier gave a false statement about the crown princess. A similar situation was with those two maids who had given false statements regarding the crown princess. Xiao, why is the security not tight in the prison? Xing Li was infuriated. Do not ask for apologies. I need apologies through actions, not words, Xing Li stated. Xiao Zhan lowered his eyes as he had disappointed the crown prince. Xing Li wanted the prime minister to accept his crime on his own, which was difficult as he had the support of the empress. This was the biggest hindrance. Xing Li knew if he tried to say anything against the prime minister in court, the empress would try everything possible to save her half-brother's position. So, such a piece of evidence was needed in which even the empress could do nothing. The crown prince came back to the eastern palace when he encountered Jian Guizhi. They both glared at each other when Xing Li broke the ice. You did not even come to see me, dear first brother. Xing Li said sarcastically, which made Jian Guizhi laugh. I was busy finding out the culprit who dared to do such a thing to my dear younger brother. I was scared when I found out that the crown prince was poisoned. Thanks to the crown princess, my younger brother is safe. Jian Guizhi's words were enough to tell Xing Li how much the first prince wanted him to die. Indeed, Lily saved me. She loves me so much that she accepted the wrong accusations for me. She believed in her love, which is one reason I am safe and sound despite my enemies trying hard to kill me. I was disheartened when I found out your father.in law even questioned my relationship with Lily. People have such a misunderstanding about us, Xing Li proclaimed. The smile did not leave his lips as he kept gazing into the eyes of the first prince. Jian Guizhi knew that the crown prince could not love anyone and he was just putting on a show. Sorry, if you feel offended, crown prince, but I think I shall tell this to you. Your relationship with my consort is famous, which is one reason for the misunderstandings among the surrounding people. The wedding night talks are open to the palace. How the crown princess tried killing you and how the crown prince treated the crown princess. Jian Guizhi grinned as he waited for Xing Li's response. Why does it seem that my brother is taking so much interest in my wedding night? Who will believe a maid? I believe that the crown princess has proven how strong our relationship is by saving my life. Xing Li affirmed. About your consort, let me clear one thing, dear first brother. I never loved her. How can I love the woman whose family is always giving me headaches? Xing Li was sarcastic in his tone and showed his hatred towards the Wei family. Jian Guizhi smiled, but before he could speak, the crown prince walked past him. Your luck is with you, Xing Li, but not for long, Jian Guizhi thought. Xing Li arrived at his resting chamber and asked Xing Fu about the crown princess. Your Highness, the crown princess is still sleeping, Xing Fu replied with a bowed head. Xing Li stepped ahead and opened the door by sliding it on each side. He walked in and closed the door behind him. Xingli removed his overcoat and placed it on the chair. Looking at Ing Lily, Xingli slightly smiled. Where will she go in the night if she is sleeping so much in this daylight? Xingli murmured. He went to the bed and sat on the mattress. Shaking Ing Lily's shoulder, Xingli softly called out her name. Ing Lily opened her eyes and looked at him. You are finally awake, Xingli spoke to Ing Lily, who was rubbing her eyes. She sat up on the bed and checked her clothes first. Xingli laughed at seeing the acts of the crown princess. You think I would have taken advantage of you in your sleep? Ing Lily heard Xingli asking her. Who knows? Ing Lily murmured as she tied the knot on the upper jacket of the Hanfu dress that she was wearing. Your uncle is dead, Xingli suddenly said. Ing Lily turned her head to look at Xingli as her eyes were filled with tears. He believed the wrong person. As soon as he joined the hands of the Prime Minister, his death was written. Instead of believing me, he believed the Prime Minister, Xingli stressed. What will happen to Juyan? Ing Lily questioned. It will be governed by Han. A governor will be appointed soon. Your uncle will not be buried with dignity, as he was associated with this poisoning incident. His family will be turned to slaves so that they can pay for the crimes that your uncle did, Xingli pronounced with a stern expression. But it was not their mistake. Aunt did not know about this, neither did her children. What about my mother and the other ministers there? Ing Lily worriedly inquired. It does not matter whether or not they were associated with your uncle. Your mother is the widow of the late king, so she will not be thrown out from the palace. The ministers will work in the departments the appointed governor will make according to the situation in Juyan, Xingli replied to Ing Lily's queries. Please, do not turn them into slaves, Ing Lily pleaded to Xingli. Why shall I do that? I cannot be biased just because Juyan's princess is my wife now, Xingli stated as he gazed into Ing Lily's eyes. Do you not feel bad doing such things? I know that my uncle did wrong with you, but his wife and children have no fault in that. Ing Lily was indignant towards Xingli. You said that you will be that one woman in my life who will be like me in every aspect and support me. You are turning back from your words, Lily, Xingli asserted as he looked for an answer from Ing Lily. I did say those words to you, but it does not mean that I will forget my principles. Why punish innocents when they did nothing wrong? It is an injustice to them, Ing Lily remarked. Lily, even I have principles. You forget that I have shown enough mercy on Juyan. By now, Juyan would have been filled with dead bodies of the people because their princess's words proved wrong. Still, I let them stay alive, Xingli proclaimed with a sly smile. Then you shall punish me because I was the one who endangered your life, Ing Lily offered a deal in front of the crown prince. Chapter 83. This is your true beauty. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xingli gripped Ing Lily's chin and leaned closer to her. The biggest problem is that you do not fear me and it will not be fun if I punish you. Xingli tried intimidating Ing Lily with his words. Xingli's judgment was aggrieving Ing Lily, but she did not want to start a fight with him. In these few days, she had realized that Xingli said harsh words because of a reason. Indeed, the crown prince's decision was showing a typical judgment of a ruler, but she wanted the crown prince not to make more enemies than before. Xingli, do you not think that aunt is also a mother? If she will see her children turning into slaves, that would be wrong. Even her children will get hurt seeing their mother like that. Xingli, it is not about being biased but it is doing the right justice. We shall punish the prime minister who planned all this and joined hands with my uncle, Ing Lily remarked. She had kept her tone polite while talking to Xingli. Xingli amusingly looked at Ing Lily. The woman in front of him was full of intellect, but the kindness she had inside her was the reason for the differences in their opinions. Lily, I will explain why I cannot show kindness to them. If I will spare them today, they might harm me tomorrow. Your uncle has died in the prison of Han. Does not matter whether he was killed by the Prime Minister or me because, either way, your aunt and her children are going to resent me. I have to be realistic in my judgment, Xing Li explained to Ying Lili. Even I wanted to take revenge on you, but I did not. I could have let you die yesterday, but I did not. Why? Do you know? Ying Lili questioned Xing Li. Because you wanted to save yourself and your Juyan, Xing Li answered right away. Ying Lili felt dejected hearing that. I tried hard not to pick a fight with you but it seems we will end up fighting, Ying Lili said in exasperation. Was that not the reason? You married me for that same reason. To save your people, else you would have never, Xing Li chuckled as he released his grip from Ying Lili's chin. His mood was ruined by then, but he did not want to let it out on Ying Lili so he simply told Ying Lili to leave as he averted his gaze from her. Ying Lili picked her overcoat and got down from the bed. She quickly wore her shoes followed by the overcoat. Without wasting any more seconds, she walked out from there. Xing Li rubbed the skin between his brows and slammed his hand against the bed. How can I expect anything from her? Xing Li annoyingly muttered. He stood up from the bed and threw the porcelain jar that was placed on the table there. Ying Lili, who had opened the door, heard the breaking sound of a porcelain jar but she did not want to go to check on the crown prince as it would have only resulted in more tension between them. She came out and found Xing Fu gave a suppressed smile seeing her. But, she did not bother to ask about that and walked away from there. Xing Fu quickly went inside the resting chamber and saw the broken jar near the bed. Your Highness, is Her Highness angry at you because you p. Why are you stuttering? Xing Li shouted at Xing Fu. Painted the crown princess's face. Xing Fu completed his words quickly. Xing Li immediately ran out of his chamber. Xing Li was so immersed in making Ying Lili understand his points that he almost forgot that he had painted earlier on her face. Luckily the crown princess had not left his manor. She was descending the stairs when Xing Li gripped her arm. Xing Li had already irked Ying Lili and now this act of him was irritating her more. Leave, Ying Lili said sternly. You will become a laughing stock if I let you go now and that will anger you more, Xing Li stated. Ha! Ying Lili was confused upon hearing the statement of Xing Li when he carried her up in a bridal style. Ying Lili was shocked by this act of the crown prince. Ying Lili heard the giggles of the court lady Su and maidservants who were following her. What is it? Leave me at this instant if you do not want to get a beating, Ying Lili looked menacingly at Xing Li. Oh. So, you can beat too. We will see that later. Wrap your hand around my neck, Xing Li stated. No, I do not want to. Just leave me here, Ying Lili snapped at him. Xing Li turned and saw some 20 stairs. If I will leave you, then you will fall down those stairs and might break either your hand or leg or probably both. Do you want me to do that? Xing Li gazed back at Ying Lili who still did not wrap her hands around Xing Li's neck. So, he loosened her grip on her slightly, which terrified Ying Lili, and she quickly wrapped her hands around Xing Li's neck. Xing Li ascended the stairs and took Ying Lili back to the resting chamber. As soon as they arrived there, Xing Li threw Ying Lili on the bed, which baffled her. She shot glares at him. Xing Li went to the table on the left side of the chamber and opened the door. Taking out the mirror, he closed the drawer and went to the bed. Your face is looking lovely. This is your true beauty, Xing Li said while suppressing his laughter. Ying Lili took the mirror from Xing Li and looked at herself. She widened her eyes, seeing herself in the mirror. There were 3 black lines on both of her cheeks and a black dot on her nose tip. You did this, right? Ying Lili questioned Xing Li who gave a smirk to Ying Lili. I had a dream in which I saw a wild cat attacking me but, when I woke up I saw you and realized that there is only one wildcat, that is you. But, something was off with your face so I just showed my artistic skills to enhance your beauty, Xing Li explained to Ying Lili while appreciating himself and ended up laughing. Controlling his laughs, Xing Li continued, I was so lost in talking to you that I almost forgot that I painted on your face. This is my first time, and I did brilliant work. Chapter 84. No one ever loved me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ing Lily was glaring at Xingli, who was still suppressing his laughs. She put the mirror on the bed and got down from it. Xingli got confused seeing this. He stopped Ing Lily by grabbing her arm. "Where are you going?" Xingli questioned. Ing Lily jerked off Xingli's hand from under her arm. "Stop pulling pranks like a kid," Ing Lily said with exasperation. "Why are you angry?" "My mood is fine, now, so better not to start a fight again with me. Let me clean your face first, or have you planned to roam with this pretty face of yours throughout the palace?" Xingli queried Ing Lily and again grabbed her arm. "But my mood is ruined. You are the one who started a fight with me, and then you said bluntly that I saved you because of my selfish reasons. How could you say that? Do you really think I would have wanted you to die?" Ing Lily questioned Xingli. Xingli turned Ing Lily towards him and lifted her chin with his index finger. "I said it because you said those words to me when I saw you for the first time and asked you if you want to marry me. Why would you not want me to die? I am the man opposite that you always wished for," Xingli reasoned as he peered into the eyes of Ing Lily. "But it does not mean that I want my husband to die. Indeed, you are not the man which I wished for, but it does not mean that you cannot become that man of my wishes," Ing Lily answered. Xingli never expected this kind of answer from Ing Lily. A husband like him, no woman desired for. He was the definition of danger from whom women tried running away. Not only women but men too. Only a few could understand him. Ing Lily was the same at first, but why all out of a sudden she was behaving like that, Xingli wanted to know. "You think I can become the man of your wishes?" Xingli was astonished and amused upon hearing Ing Lily's last statement. "Can't you? If I can become the woman you want to have, then why can't you become the man I always wanted?" Ing Lily questioned him. Xingli snickered in amusement. "Women never wished for a husband like me. Do you know why?" Xingli asked. Ing Lily refused plainly. "Because I never show mercy. I am emotionless and heartless. I want to survive and rule this world, and for that, if I have to kill anyone close to me, I will. I will not even hesitate to kill any of my brothers to rule this world. It does not matter to me if I will end up alone," Xingli pronounced. His gaze did not leave Ing Lily's even for a second. "Dovi Ko, you are wrong. You are not heartless, nor are you emotionless. Yesterday I saw myself. Everyone wants to survive in this world, and there is nothing wrong with that. You also hesitate to kill, it is just you want to portray yourself as supreme," Ing Lily counter-replied Xingli. Xingli curled up his lips, and a sly smile formed over them. "No one ever loved me because I do not love," Xingli asserted. "You are wrong again. Your two brothers love you and your father. He also loves you. What about General Wang and General Xiao? They also love you. You also get worried about them and care for them," Ing Lily opined. Xingli knitted his brows. How should he make Ing Lily understand that he was way more selfish than she thought? But then why should he even tell her those things? "You talked too much. If this ink will not be removed soon, then you have to stay with this face throughout your life. I have no issue with this face, but I think you and others might have." Xingli changed the topic quickly. Ing Lily touched her cheeks when Xingli told her to stay there. He walked out of his chamber, and after 5 minutes he came back. He had a white cotton cloth in his hand and a file too. Xingli opened the file and tilted it on the cotton cloth. He closed the file quickly and placed it near his waistband pocket. Xingli gripped the cotton cloth between his fingers and placed his other hand behind Ing Lily's back head as he brought her closer to him. He started cleaning the ink from Ing Lily's cheeks. "Ah!" Ing Lily screamed as Xingli wiped her cheek with a substantial force. Xingli pulled his hand back and looked at Ing Lily with inquisitiveness. Can't you be gentle? Ing Lily complained as she placed her hand on her left cheek. Don't act like a crybaby. I was gentle, Xingli stated and removed Ing Lily's hand from the left cheek. This time, he was gentle. Soon he cleaned both cheeks and pinched Ing Lily's nose tip. It suits you, Xingli mumbled as a smile formed on his lips. Ing Lily hit Xingli hard on his arm and the two glared at each other. You are getting violent day by day. I have to find a way to control your violence, wild cat. Ing Lily heard Xingli, who was carefully wiping her nose tip. Ing Lily stared at Xingli until he was done cleaning Ing Lily's face. It's done. You can look at the mirror, Xingli told Ing Lily and met her eyes. He snapped his fingers in front of Ing Lily's eyes, who blinked and stepped back. She picked the mirror and checked her face. It is clean. I shall wash my face. Never do this again, Ing Lily stated, and turned back to him. Do you want to shoot arrows with me after having lunch? Xingli asked Ing Lily, who was delighted to hear that. Of course. If I will win, then you will fulfill my wish, Ing Lily quickly bet on that. You can ask anything, but you cannot ask anything for your uncle's family, else I will turn your mother also into a slave, Xingli put forward his condition. Ing Lily was out of words after hearing Xingli's condition. Okay, I understood, Ing Lily replied. Chapter 85. Fulfilling my wish for the second time. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Shuiyu Yan was sitting in front of the dressing table, combing her hair. The first prince is here, Your Highness, a maidservant informed Shuiyu Yan, who stopped combing and put the comb on the table. You can leave, Shuiyu Yan told the maidservant, who bowed her head, took a few steps back before turning back and leaving the chamber. Shuiyu Yan stood up from the chair and came towards the chaise to sit on it. Jian Guizhi had come there and was in anger. Why are you angry? Shuiyu Yan asked. Jian Guizhi was glaring at her. He marched towards her and grabbed her neck. Why did your father ask for the death punishment for Ing Lily? You told him, right? I told you that I will make you empress only when you will get along with me and not harm Yinger. Jian Guizhi pressed his fingers on Shuiyu Yan's neck, whose sharp nails were digging in Jian Guizhi's hand. Leave, Shuiyu Yan said with difficulty. Jian Guizhi pulled his hand back while Shuiyu Yan took a deep breath. Once she was stable, Shuiyu Yan stood up from the chaise and slapped Jian Guizhi. You think you can control me? Do not forget that you are nothing without my family's support. You cannot even save your position and tell me to get along with you. Why would it matter to me if Ing Lily got punished or not? I told you already, it has nothing to do with me. Ask your mother, who planned all this, rather than shouting and getting angry at me, Shuiyu Yan pronounced furiously as she touched her neck. She went to the dressing table and picked a mirror from there. It reddened, Shuiyu Yan murmured. Jian Guizhi got irritated seeing Shuiyu Yan. She was indeed power-hungry. Once I get that crown, I will make sure to show you your place. I will take the revenge of this slap, you, Yan, Jian Guizhi thought in his mind and left the chamber in anger. Seeing the closeness of the crown prince with the crown princess, and then Shuiyu Yan's words made him more furious, which ruined his mood. He felt his worth was nil in the palace despite being the eldest son. When Jian Guizhi expressed his desire to marry Ing Lily, it was immediately refused. Why? Because Xingli had to marry Ing Lily. Why him? Why did Xingli snatch away the things on which he had the right since birth? Why did the emperor always favor a prince younger than the first prince? All this infuriated Jian Guizhi. He had come to the practice ground as he wanted to shoot some arrows when he saw the crown prince was also there with the crown princess. He is even here, Jian Guizhi mumbled and clenched his fists when Xingli's eyes fell on him. My dear brother is also here. Xingli said with a smile and with a bit of sarcasm. Ing Lily turned and saw Jian Guizhi. After ascending the stairs, Jian Guizhi reached the top platform from where arrows were shot at the target. Ing Lily lowered her head and greeted the first prince. Can I join the crown prince and the crown princess in this shooting game? Jian Guizhi asked for permission. Brother, I am afraid, but today the crown princess and I have a match. Why do you not watch us? Xing Li suggested. Jian Guizhi nodded and sat on a chair there. Xing Li stood behind Ing Lily and tied her hair into a bun. Next time come with tied hair in the practice ground, Xing Li whispered in Ing Lily's ear. Jian Guizhi was looking at them and was feeling disheartened. His blood was boiling, looking at Xing Li who was smiling with Ing Lily. Lily, try winning this time, else you might end up fulfilling my wish for the second time, Xing Li asserted and came in front of her. He had 2 silk ribbons in his hand. Give me your hand, Xing Li told Ing Lily. Why? Xing Li, without responding to her, grabbed her hand and looked at the sleeves. These need to be tied, otherwise you will not be able to give your best. I do not want you to blame me later when you will lose the bet. Xing Li was confident that he would defeat Ing Lily again. He moved the silk ribbon over Ing Lily's forearm and tied the long sleeves. He did the same on the other hand. Xing Li turned his gaze to a soldier there and asked him to bring a bow and arrow set. The soldier quickly came to the crown prince and handed a bow and quiver. Xing Li handed the quiver to Ing Lily who put it around her shoulder. There are 10 arrows. We have to shoot 10 times in the middle of those targets. The target is 200 meters away from us. One who scores maximum will win the game, Xing Li told Ing Lily and handed her the bow. The soldier gave another bow and arrow set to the crown prince and went back to his place. Shall I start or will you? Xing Li questioned Ing Lily. You shall start, Ing Lily replied to Xing Li who nodded and took out the first arrow from the quiver and put it in the bow. The crown prince is the best archer among us, Ing Lily heard the first prince who was watching them. But I will cheer for the crown princess, Jian Guizhi stated. Xing Li stretched the string of the bow. His eyes were fixated on the target. Ing Lily was gazing at him when the arrow was shot. The speed was so enormous that it was almost invisible to the eyes. The arrow hit right in the middle of the wooden target. He took out a second arrow from the quiver and shot it again. The arrow, which was already in the middle of the set target, was pierced with the second arrow. Ing Lily observed that Xing Li indeed had good shooting skills and his concentration was immense. Facing no difficulty, Xing Li shot 10 arrows on the same target board, piercing one arrow after the other. He put his hand down and looked at Ing Lily. Ing Lily took out the first bow from the quiver and placed it on the bow. Pulling the string on the bow, she for a minute analyzed the direction of the wind, which was the most favorable factor in shooting the arrow. She shot the first arrow without any difficulty. Jian Guizhi clapped for the crown princess as the arrow hit the center of the target. Ing Lily grabbed the second arrow and drew it from the bow. The arrow pierced the previous one, which astonished Xing Li, so, she knows how to shoot, Xing Li thought as Ing Lily kept hitting the targets. Now was the last arrow that needed to be hit at the target. Ing Lily noticed the wind flow was not favorable and if Ing Lily would hit, then she might lose to him. Ing Lily waited for the wind to be stable and after a while, she shot the arrow. Xing Li turned his gaze towards the target. I think you have missed, Xing Li asserted. No, I did not, Ing Lily affirmed. What if you did? Xing Li questioned Ing Lily. Let's check it there, Xing Li stated and went to the stairs. Ing Lily and Jian Guizhi also followed Xing Li. Look, you missed. The arrow shot by you is touching the white outline around the red, Xing Li proclaimed as he looked at the wooden target in front of him. Ing Lily went to the other target to look if Xing Li had missed any of the arrows, but there was none. You are cheating. It is not even touching that white outline, Ing Lily argued with Xing Li. Jian Guizhi too checked the targets hit by both of them and found the arrow shot by Ing Lily was indeed slightly touching the white outline. I never cheat. We had a fair match, Lily. You have lost, so you have to fulfill a wish of mine, Xingli remarked. The Crown Prince is saying the right thing. Your Highness has indeed missed the target, Jian Guizhi too intervened between them. Ying Lili huffed as she took out the quiver that was hanging on her back and threw it towards Xingli. Xingli caught it and wondered what could be the reason for Ying Lili's sudden anger. Okay, I will fulfill your wish. Tell me, what do you want? Ying Lili asked as she glared at Xingli. Xingli smiled. Will you be able to give me that? Xingli asked Ying Lili. If it will be in my capacity, then I will, Ying Lili replied. Jian Guizhi was wondering what the Crown Prince could ask from Ying Lili and keenly looked at him. I will tell you later, Xingli stated, and gave a smile to Ying Lili. He then turned to Jian Guizhi and spoke. Brother, we two met each other after such a long time. Let's shoot arrows together for a while. Jian Guizhi knitted his brows. Do not be confused. I just want to have a friendly match with my brother as well, Xingli continued. Chapter 86. Pay for his crimes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Will there be a bet between us as well? Jian Guizhi with inquisitiveness looked at Xingli, who was checking the arrow. Ying Lili had come towards Xingli and stood beside him. Xingli gave a slight laugh upon hearing the request of Jian Guizhi. A bet. I wonder what kind of bet my brother wants to make. Xingli proclaimed as he suppressed his smile. At that moment, Xiao Zhan came there. He greeted the Crown Prince first, followed by the Crown Princess and the First Prince. Xiao Zhan whispered something in the ear of Xingli, whose facial expressions turned to a serious one. Xiao Zhan stepped back while Xingli looked at Jian Guizhi. Forgive me, dear brother, but I have something urgent. Let's play this game some other time, Xingli politely said. Jian Guizhi nodded. I will wait for the next time, Your Highness, Jian Guizhi replied and left from there. Xingli turned to Ying Lili. Go to Zhenju Inn. I will see you in the night, Xingli with a smile said, and then leaned closer to Ying Lili's ear. I will tell you to fulfill that wish in the night, he whispered, and then leaned back. Noticing the reaction on the Crown Princess's face, Xingli ended up giggling, but he soon stopped. General Xiao, drop the Crown Princess to Zhenju Inn, Xingli ordered Xiao. Xiao Zhan told Ying Lili to follow him. Ying Lili left the place with Xiao. Xingli, on the other hand, went to his manor. Once he reached there, Xing Fu bowed his head. General Wang is waiting for His Highness in the waiting room, Xing Fu informed the Crown Prince. Only let Xiao Zhan into the waiting room. If you let anyone come there, then this will be your last day here. Xingli threatened Xing Fu and walked towards the waiting room. He opened the door and closed it from behind. He pushed the beaded curtains away and saw Wang Hao there. The Crown Prince was happy to see General Wang there. Wang Hao came forward to Xingli and bent on his knees. He brought both of his hands to the length of his shoulders and bowed his head. Greetings to His Highness from Wang Hao. You may stand up, Xingli said. Wang Hao had worn blue-colored robes with a black headband around his forehead. Have a seat, Xingli told Wang Hao, and they both sat around a wooden table. I am happy to see you safe and sound, Xingli said with a smile. I found from Xiao that you were poisoned by the Prime Minister, Wang Hao said anxiously. Xingli hummed at him. I got the antidote at the right time. It was not only the Prime Minister but the Empress as well, Xingli proclaimed with abhorrence. Wang Hao saw the hatred and pain in the eyes of the Crown Prince. He could easily see through the Crown Prince because he was with him since his childhood days. He had seen how the Empress had treated the Crown Prince. Thanks to the Crown Princess, nothing happened to His Highness. I knew that the Crown Princess will love His Highness, Wang Hao tried cheering up the mood of the Crown Prince, who chuckled hearing those praise words towards Ying Lili. Wang Hao, what did you say? Loving me. Do you even know how much we fight in a day? Xingli annoyingly asked Wang Hao, who puckered his lips to suppress his smile. Forgive me, Your Highness, Wang Hao apologized. Your Highness, the rebellions in the southern province are shaped by the first consort of His Majesty. You know the Zhu family is in dominance in south-western province. Prince Yongzheng's mother wants the crown prince to be away from the palace for some time. So, they created the revolts there, Wang Hao informed Xingli. The door was opened and Xiao Zhan came there. Your Highness, I dropped Her Highness to Jinzhu Inn, Xiao Zhan stated. Xingli gestured to him to sit on the chair beside Wang Hao. Basically, they want to find a way to take away the crown from His Highness. Is the Empress with them, I wonder? Wang Hao said skeptically. The Empress would never join hands with the father's first consort. She wants the crown for the first prince and wants to secure his position first, Xingli opined. General Wang, did you find any evidence regarding that? Xiao Zhan asked. I could not gather evidence. The security in Zhu Palace is extremely tight. Amidst that tight security, I managed to get there and could only hear the governor's conversation with his most favorable minister there. The first consort of His Majesty had sent a message to her brother to keep the crown prince away from the palace, Wang Hao proclaimed. Xingli could not believe that everyone in the palace wanted him either not to return or to die. You gathered a piece of very useful information. I thought that Consort Yao would have stopped her attempts to send me away from the palace, but she did not change a bit, Xingli snickered and slammed his hand on the table. Your Highness, we have to put an end to the Zhu family. It is rebellious since the time of your late grandfather, but because it increased the economy of Han, no action was taken against them. I think His Highness shall discuss the matter with His Majesty, Wang Hao advised, stressing his words. I will, but before that, I want to give a surprise to the Prime Minister. I was on the verge of death thanks to him, Xingli muttered. Wang Hao and Xiao Zhan agreed with the Crown Prince. The Lantern Festival is after 2 days. Your Highness, I am keeping a check on their activities as they can further plan to harm you and the Crown Princess, Xiao Zhan asserted. Xingli smirked and said, Lantern Festival will be the best occasion of my life. The Prime Minister has been on my nerves for a very long time. I could hardly bear the sight of this enemy for such a long time. It is the time that he shall pay for his crimes, Xingli pronounced. Hello dear readers. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you to all of you who sent messages of encouragement to me. I will not get disheartened like this and will keep working on my writing skills. Thank you for the votes as well. Today I will give 5 chaps as mass release as you readers gave more than 500 votes to the story in a week. So stay tuned to the story. Happy reading. Chapter 87. Waste my wish on something like this. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ing Lily was removing the golden bangles from her wrists as she looked at herself in the mirror. What will he ask for? Last time he scared me to hell, Ing Lily murmured. Why did I even agree to sleep with him? What shall I do now? Shall I send a message that I have already eaten and fallen asleep? Ing Lily muttered. Ing Lily removed the crown from her head and the other head accessories quickly. Once she was done, she called Court Lady Su who came inside the chamber in a minute. Court Lady Su, send the message to the Crown Prince that I have taken my dinner and have fallen asleep, Ing Lily stated. Court Lady Su lifted her head and looked at the Crown Princess. But Your Highness, you have not taken your dinner. The Crown Prince might get angry if he finds out that the Crown Princess lied to him, Court Lady Su suggested to the Crown Princess. Ing Lily knitted her brows. I am going to eat and sleep quickly. I am not lying to him, she cleared herself. Your Highness, are you afraid of spending a night with the Crown Prince? Court Lady Su politely asked. Ing Lily moved her fingers one over the other, as she was indeed nervous. Court Lady Su made Ing Lily sit on the bed there. Your Highness, the Crown Prince is not like the other man. His Highness will not start things with you until you permit him. I have seen that the Crown Prince has started liking you and he likes to be around you. Do not run away from His Highness, instead embrace him. He is the crown prince, so Her Highness has to give birth to the royal heir as well in the future, but if Her Highness will keep running like this, then I am afraid, the crown prince will be forced to take a concubine, Court Lady Sue politely explained to the crown princess. Ing Lily was still confused. She knew that the crown prince likes to tease her, nothing more. I do not have any problem if he brings a concubine for him, Ing Lily said in a low voice. Court Lady Sue looked at the crown princess in disbelief. Your Highness, you are young and naive. If you are brought together by this beautiful relationship, then why not put effort into it? Court Lady Sue spoke and looked for an answer from Ing Lily. Ing Lily recalled how she told the crown prince that she wanted to be the woman of his desires, then why she was running away now. But she had not developed a liking towards him. Okay, I understood your point, Ing Lily replied. What did you understand? Xingli, who was standing behind a white curtain, asked. Ing Lily jumped in fear if Xingli heard her conversation with Court Lady Sue, while the Court Lady Sue lowered her head in fear. Xingli came inside and looked at Ing Lily. Send dinner for us, Xingli ordered Court Lady Sue, who bowed her head and left the chamber. Ing Lily stood up from the bed while Xingli came towards her. I asked you a question, Xingli stated. Nothing. She was telling me about the palace rules, Ing Lily replied. Xingli looked at Ing Lily's face for a while and then went to the dining table. Ing Lily followed him and they sat in their respective seats. You have good shooting skills, Xingli stated. Ing Lily did not reply to him, which perplexed him. What happened? You are lost somewhere. Is there something you want to ask me? Xingli queried Ing Lily. I am not, Ing Lily replied. Your face is saying otherwise, Xingli asserted. Ing Lily still did not respond to him. I think I shall ask Court Lady Sue, Xingli stated when Ing Lily stopped him. Trust me, nothing is going on, Ing Lily pronounced. Lily, I will ask the court lady if you will not tell me, Xingli repeated his words with a menacing expression. Ing Lily gave up in front of Xingli. Why was she even talking about those things with the court lady? She was now internally cursing herself. Okay, I am telling. She was just making me understand that I shall not push my husband away, Ing Lily finally said, peering into the eyes of Xingli, and continued, my husband might end up having a concubine if I die. Ing Lily closed her eyes as she was still nervous. Why do you trust others so easily? Xingli questioned Ing Lily, who, hearing his question, opened her eyes. I told you already, if I had to play with women then I would have a harem by now, Xingli remarked. But I am talking about having a concubine. I mean if Ing Lily stuttered again. I will never allow myself to have a concubine. Let's drop this topic, Xingli stated when 3 maidservants came inside with trays in their hands behind Court Lady Sue. They served the meals to the Crown Prince and Crown Princess. One maid tasted the food first. Your Highness can start eating, the maidservant replied. Court Lady Sue walked out with the 3 maidservants. Xingli started eating, and so did Ing Lily. There was utter silence between the two. Soon they were done eating. The maids cleaned the table. Xingli removed his overcoat and placed it on the chaise. Ing Lily was looking at him when he opened the hair bun and his hair flung till his shoulders. Placing the crown on the dressing table, Xingli turned to Ing Lily and walked towards her. Ing Lily, who was still standing near the table, took a step back and lowered her eyes. Xingli wrapped his hand around Ing Lily's waist and from the other hand, he gently gripped Ing Lily's chin. It is the time I shall ask for my second wish, Xingli whispered. Sorry, I am not ready for that, Ing Lily immediately replied without knowing what Xingli was going to ask her. Ha! There was a skeptical expression on the face of the Crown Prince. He saw how terrified Ing Lily was, which made him laugh. Controlling his laugh, Xingli asked, you are not ready for what? What are you thinking in your mind? What you are thinking? Ing Lily answered, looking at him innocently. And, what am I thinking? Xingli asked another question. That you want to consummate with me, Lily after a pause completed her words. What? Xingli exclaimed, raising his brow. So, you and court lady Su were talking about this? Xingli questioned Lily, who refused. I am in a good mood, so I will pretend I did not hear. Why would I waste my wish on something like this? Xingli muttered. Lily felt embarrassed for thinking about all those things. So, what is your wish? Lily asked. Ednel.co, you have to go to the residence of the Prime Minister with me, but not as the Crown Prince and the Crown Princess but as spies, Xingli expressed his wish to Lily. Chapter 88. You want me to kiss you? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Crown Prince demanded fulfillment of a wish which Lily would not have thought of even in her dreams. How could she think that the Crown Prince would ask for something like that when their affection towards each other had not even grown a bit? But the wish that Xingli had put forward was not understandable to Lily. Why was he asking her to be a spy? Xingli, if you had asked me to be a spy I would have agreed with you. Why did you ask this as a wish? Lily confusedly asked. I have not completed my words. You would have stepped back once you will know where we actually need to go, Xingli affirmed and asked, have you ever done spying? Lily shook her head in refusal. Then, this is your first time. Good to hear. Xingli muttered and took a folded paper from near the waistband. He opened it and placed it on the table. Lily saw the paper had the map drawn on it. This is the map of the residence of the Prime Minister. He lives in the northern block, so you need to go inside his chamber, Xingli asserted. Lily was bewildered to hear that. It is risky, Lily spoke. I cannot do this, Lily stepped back. Xingli chuckled. I knew it, that's why I put forward it as a wish, Xingli asserted. You told me that you want to be a woman of my desires, so this is the first step towards that, Xingli further added. But Xingli, if we two are going there then you can also go in. Why me? Lily demanded an answer. Because I have another important thing to check there. That is more dangerous than this, Xingli replied. What about General Shao? Lily queried him. He will be with me to complete that important work, Xingli asserted. I always take risks. Are you afraid? It seemed I was wrong that you could. Lily cut Xingli's words in the middle. I will do it, Lily affirmed. Xingli smiled and made her sit on the chair. From a spy, I have found that the Prime Minister has a secret room inside his chamber. You see, the Prime Minister has only appointed women in his manor. He knows that Han does not train women in these types of things, and even sometimes women do not come forward. The only woman that I have faith in is you, so you are the best to go there. Your warfare skills are also refined, so I do not need to put much effort on you, Xingli pronounced. What is inside that secret room? Lily with an inquisitive expression looked at Xingli. That is your work to find out. He is my biggest enemy for now and I have to throw him out of his position as soon as possible, else he will be a threat to us later, Xingli proclaimed. Lily agreed with Xingli and looked at the map. When do we have to go there? In the middle of the night, that is after 4 hours, Xingli replied. Till then I will explain everything to you, Xingli asserted as he pulled out the other chair for him. Lily was keenly listening to Xingli. It took an hour for Lily to understand everything. Xingli then took out a dagger from his waistband and forwarded it to Lily. It is my gift for you. I know, unlike other women, you are not interested in precious jewelry or clothes, so I thought that it would be the best for you. Lily was delighted to see that dagger. She picked it up and pulled it out from the silver scabbard. Xingli smiled, seeing the reactions on Lily's face. You are gifting me. That is so strange. Lily remarked. You saved my life, so it is a small present from my side, Xingli proclaimed. Ying Lili touched the blade when she heard Xingli, "Be careful. It is very sharp." Ying Lili peered at him as she moved her finger on the blade and it got a cut. She passed a low scream when Xingli immediately grabbed Ying Lili's wrist. "I told you not to play with that." Unconsciously, Xingli brought Ying Lili's index finger towards his lips and sucked it to stop the blood flow. Ying Lili widened her eyes when Xingli realized what he did. He parted his lips while Ying Lili pulled her finger back. Xingli averted his gaze and closed his eyes while Ying Lili saw that the blood had stopped coming out. Xingli again turned to her and took the dagger from Ying Lili which she was holding with the other hand. He put it back inside the scabbard and put it on the table. "So, you understand what you have to do, right?" Xingli asked Ying Lili to confirm she had no more doubts left. "I will not be caught." "I am confident about that, but still, what if I get caught?" Ying Lili asked Xingli with a menacing expression. "I will be there. So, do not worry. I will not let you get caught by anyone. Just do not lose your confidence. I am trusting you in taking such a colossal task, so, do not return empty-handed. If you return with nothing, then I will perceive you the same as the other women with no special skills," Xingli replied to Ying Lili's query. "You will not be disappointed. What about you? What are you and General Shao up to?" Ying Lili was curious. "By the way, there is one simple way to take the Prime Minister down. You can use Shuiyu, Yan," Ying Lili suggested and smiled. "In what context are you saying? Do you think I still love her?" Xingli looked for an answer from Ying Lili. "You confessed many times how much you love her. You can ask her about this secret room. I have seen how she looks at you, so she will tell you immediately." Ying Lili started teasing Xingli and stood up from the chair. Xingli grabbed Ying Lili's arm and pulled her towards him such that she fell on his lap. Their faces were so close to each other that they could hear and feel each other's breath. "Teasing me is fun, right?" Xingli asked Ying Lili. "No. Did I tease you?" Ying Lili got up when Xingli pulled her back and wrapped his one hand around Ying Lili's waist, not letting her move. "You want me to kiss you?" Xingli asked Ying Lili, which startled her. Chapter 89. To enlighten my mood, you are listening at novelfull.audio. "You are the first one who teased me like this, and I shall repay you for teasing me," Xingli amusingly said. Ying Lili was moving her lips, but she could not speak when she felt Xingli's thumb over her lips. Ying Lili's eyes were fluttering when she placed her hand on his hand. She moved it aside. "Do not play with me." "You started playing with me, didn't you?" Xingli questioned. I was not playing. "The things you told me, I just told you that back," Ying Lili stated. Xingli chuckled and said, "I told you many times that I do not love her, but you still prefer to go against my words. Is this a way to grab my attention towards you?" Xingli's questions after questions were making Ying Lili fidget because if she would say anything to him, she did not know how he would react. Still gathering her entire courage, Ying Lili gave a reply to Xingli, "I never sought your attention. I did not know you would take it the other way," Ying Lili replied and bit her lower lip slightly, which felt seductive to Xingli. "Why did you do that?" Xingli queried as he moved his eyes back to Ying Lili's, who was bewildered upon hearing the query of Xingli. "I did what?" Xingli could not believe that the crown princess would be that innocent. He pushed Ying Lili away, and she landed on the floor. That was shocking for Ying Lili. Right away she turned to look at Xingli, who was lost somewhere. She huffed in anger and stood up. "Are you insane? Why did you throw me away?" Ying Lili screamed at Xingli and using her fist hit him hard on the shoulder. Xingli tilted his head to look at Ying Lili, who was glaring at him. He stood up from the chair when Ying Lili again raised her hand to hit him, but he caught it and pulled her towards him. "Enough, wild cat. Your useless acts will not affect me in any way, but yes, they can annoy me," Xingli stated. Ying Lili fluttered her eyes, unable to get what Xingli meant. He released her hand and pushed her away. Xingli went to the bed and laid down on it. Ing Lily saw Xingli was opening the knot on his upper jacket, so she turned away. Xingli noticed that and sat up on the bed. He removed his upper jacket and put it aside on the bed. Lily, come here, Xingli commanded her. Ing Lily turned and saw Xingli was seated on the bed with no upper clothes. Lily, give me a shoulder massage, Xingli requested. Why? Asked the maidservant. Ing Lily immediately refused, which Xingli had expected. When I have a wife then, why do I need to ask the maidservant? Xingli whispered in Ing Lily's ear. Ing Lily jumped in fear as she heard him and turned to look at him. You have seen me like this earlier too, so, why are you blushing? Do not tell me seeing me like this, you are getting excited, Xingli teased Ing Lily, who kept neutral expressions on her face. I am not blushing and wear your upper jacket. I can massage with the clothes on as well. Xingli felt as if Ing Lily was scolding him, but he did not budge from his place. Ing Lily went to the bed and threw the overcoat towards Xingli, which he caught. Wear that, Ing Lily said with a glare. Xingli quietly wore that but did not tie a knot on it. He went to the bed and sat there. Let's see if your hands have that magic which can relax me, Xingli proclaimed. Ing Lily extended her fingers while putting her fingers together and started applying the light pressure on both of the shoulders. Ing Lily pressed the muscles lightly up and down, which relaxed Xingli when a smirk formed on Ing Lily's lips. She started pressing her fingers hard on both shoulders and Xingli screamed. Ah, what are you doing? Xingli asked and turned his head to look at her when Ing Lily turned his face ahead. This is a special massage invented by me, Ing Lily replied and kept squeezing Xingli's shoulder muscles. She quickly fisted her both hands and started hitting him on the shoulders. Lily, stop. You are beating me, Xingli complained, but she did not listen to him and continued doing that. This is a very special massage, Xingli. I am telling you, every inch of your shoulder muscles will relax after having this massage, Ing Lily proclaimed while suppressing her laughter. Xingli could not take it further when he heard Ing Lily's giggles, so he swiftly turned to her, grabbed both of her hands, and pinned her down on the bed. You played enough and enjoyed the show, Xingli stated as he saw a smile on Ing Lily's face. Why? Do you not want to get a massage from your wife? Ing Lily, with a grin, asked and again giggled. Xingli snickered seeing her and said, You played enough with me, now it is my turn. The smile on Ing Lily's lips disappeared upon hearing the statement of the Crown Prince. I want to enlighten my mood, Ing Lily asserted when she saw Xingli was getting closer to her. Do you know what servants are thinking outside? Xingli questioned Ing Lily, who shook her head. Do you know what I will do next? Xingli further asked. Ing Lily gulped upon hearing his questions. Ing Lily moved her hands to get them released from Xingli's grip, but he did not let them go. Xingli moved closer and closer till the distance between their lips was minimal. Ing Lily closed her eyes. Xingli looked at her and chortled. I will do the same with you to enlighten my mood, Xingli whispered against Ing Lily's lips. Chapter 90. I cannot feel like this. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Ing Lily had opened her eyes and was peering into Xingli's eyes, frightened of what he would do next. Ing Lily tried to distract Xingli, so she said, I think someone is coming inside. Get away from me. No one is coming. My ears are sharper than yours, and even if someone is coming, then let them see us. Because of your foolishness, I am already questioned about my relationship with you. You trusted that maidservant, then announced such an amusing relationship of ours in front of the world, Xingli taunted Ing Lily. Ing Lily averted her gaze from him. She knew that she made a mistake, but it did not mean that he could keep taunting her. Didn't I tell you not to show your kindness? Xingli questioned her. Why are you bringing the past now? I apologize to you for that. I realized that I made a mistake by trusting her too much, Ing Lily affirmed. Xingli snickered upon hearing Ing Lily's response and let go of her arms. He sat up on the bed with his back towards Ing Lily, whereas Ing Lily kept lying on the bed. Forgive me, Shengli heard Ing Lily who sat up on the bed. I never encountered such things in my home, so I never thought that people could be like that. Did you punish her? Ing Lily then asked. She is dead. She was poisoned, Shengli replied. The Prime Minister is indeed cunning, Ing Lily stated as she moved forward and sat beside Shengli. Would you mind if I ask you some questions? Shengli turned his head towards Ing Lily. What kind of questions? Shengli queried. I want to know about you. I mean I shall know. Ing Lily could not complete her words as Shengli permitted her to ask. This delighted Ing Lily who was looking for this for many days. What do you like? Ing Lily asked her first question. Do I need to answer? Shengli's reply did not surprise Ing Lily. Apart from killing, what does the Crown Prince like? Ing Lily formally asked. Nothing, Shengli answered. Ing Lily twitched her lips. She murmured, why is he lying? That day he liked the song played by me. Brother Wanshi told me that he likes to throw tantrums at every single thing. Shengli laughed as he found how Ing Lily was mocking him. I can hear you. Forget about that day, Shengli stressed his last statement. I do not easily forget, Ing Lily replied. Shengli clenched his teeth and glared at her. Ing Lily giggled seeing those reactions on Shengli's face. Do not ask me anything now, Shengli asserted, and after taking a pause he continued, that is the only day I remember her. That song seems beautiful to me only on that day. Once that day passes, I do not recall anything related to her. So, do not irritate me by speaking about that day. Ing Lily found she was out of words. She wanted to know why he was like this. But would Shengli answer her? Never. Because she was not close enough to him. That's it. You do not want to ask any more? Shengli asked her. No, I am asking. Tell me about your childhood. Ing Lily wanted to know about Shengli's early life because Prince Nianzhu had told her that Shengli was abused as a child. So, she wanted to have an insight into Shengli's childhood. I do not remember that much. The only thing I remember is that I left the palace with my father at a young age and returned when I turned 11. Shengli did not want to tell anything related to his past to Ing Lily as he thought she would pity him. Contrarily, Ing Lily realized that Shengli did not want to tell her anything. Maybe because they were not that close to each other and had no friendly relationship till now. So, she did not ask him any more questions. She came down from the bed when Shengli asked her where she was going. I am asking Court Lady Su to bring some fruits for us. I am feeling hungry, Ing Lily replied and went out. She ate so much earlier, Shengli murmured. 10 minutes later, Ing Lily came inside with a tray in her hand. One bowl had some strawberries in it while the other had some apples. Ing Lily sat on the bed and peeled the apples quickly. Give me some too, Shengli demanded. First let me cut them, Ing Lily stated, and she cut the 2 apples into pieces. She picked a strawberry and ate that while Shengli ate the apples. You shall eat strawberries as well, Ing Lily said with a smile and continued eating. Her lips turned red on which Shengli's gaze fell. Ing Lily found Shengli was gazing at her. She had the strawberry between her lips and said, What are you looking at? Eat. Shengli slid the tray away, which was placed between the two, and moved closer to Ing Lily. Ing Lily put the strawberry inside her mouth and chewed, then picked one strawberry for Shengli from the bowl. She brought it closer to his mouth. Open your mouth. Shengli immediately came out of the thoughts which suddenly had formed inside his mind. He looked at Ing Lily who had her hand close to his lips. He opened his mouth and took the strawberry inside his mouth. His gaze was still fixated on Ing Lily's eyes as he chewed it. It is sweet, right? Ing Lily asked with gleaming eyes. Shengli gave a nod. Indeed, it is. Xingli replied and moved back. How can I think like that? Xingli wondered. I cannot feel like this, he told himself as he looked at Ing Lily who was enjoying eating the strawberries.